So you've been trying to reduce your mental compulsions and you're finding it really difficult. I got to give that to you. Yeah, it is really difficult. I want to give you some information that might be helpful for you. So this is something that you're not going to solve in a day, right? Our brain has been programmed this way for a long time, and it's going to take time for it to learn a new way of being, right? It's going to take time for our amygdala to learn like that the environment is in fact safe. So that's why we got to really practice. Now, it's tricky with the mental compulsions, but we got to kind of first we got to name what's happening, right? Like, if you are trying to figure it out, if you are trying to make it go away, if you're trying to solve it, that's all mental compulsions and rumination, right? We got to get clear about what we're doing compulsively. Now, there's something that you can't control. That would be the thought itself. The intrusive thought, the sensation, the feeling, that's what we cannot control, right? Our response to it is what we can control. Now, it's tricky because it's our brain against our brain, right? So it is very tricky, right? And your fight or flight is being activated. So that thing that's trying to keep you alive thinks that it's doing its job. So it is very strong, right? You want to start really committing to, I am going to watch how often my brain goes back to this thought. And I am going to quarantine it, right? It's up 1, 2, 3, in this hour, I went back to that thought 50 times. If you went back to the thought 50 times this hour, you need to go to it 45 the next hour. We need to really watch what we're doing very with a lot of intention, right? Because the OCD is so strong that it's happening automatically and it's happening in the background, and we need to be really intentional about reducing those compulsions, right? As you practice it, it will get more second nature, it will get easier, but in those early recovery days, we got to really be on it. Another thing is you want to, what I call talk the talk, which is kind of train this part of your brain, your thinking, rationalizing part, the prefrontal cortex. That's when we really write out our fear to see how kind of ridiculous it is. Sorry to put it that way, but if you write exactly what you're afraid of, and then you do what I call taking it to court, start thinking of other perspectives, start breaking it down so that this part can be yeah, dude, that's not something, right? This part is going to help this part. So when that trigger comes, when that thought comes, and we get the, right? This part's going to be I know what this is, right? We have to kind of do that training. It's not easy. I know that. But I'm trying to tell you every single thing that I know about this, right? We want to dispute the fear, and then we want to really work on reducing those compulsions, make that commitment.